Ryan. I'm doing great. How are you?
Well, great. I appreciate you joining us live on Facebook. I am super excited for all of our God Oil Supply fans to learn more about you, since you are the Essential Oil Vets, and to learn more about your new book that we now have available on godoilsupplies.com, which I'm super excited about. So, real quick, before we get into the little discussion with Janet, because everyone watching this live wants to hear from Janet. They do not want to hear from me. But this book right here, brand new book called Essential Oils for Pets Guidebook. And so if you have a dog or a cat, see, like here, I gotta just show my shirt real quick. See this?
It's so good.
My best friend uses essential oils. So if you have a dog or a cat, this is a must-have in your house, especially for all of our fans who use essential oils. Ain't that right, Janet?
Absolutely. It's so good. I can't even believe it's finally here. It's so near and dear to my heart.
I bet this book was a lot of work.
It was a labor of love for sure. For sure.
As they always are. And so before we get into the conversation, I just want to tell all of our fans that we're actually going to start a promo right now. That if you go to God Oil Supplies and you add this book to your shopping cart, which is only $19.95. It's an amazing deal. Add this book to your cart, use promo code Janet, and we are automatically going to add, where did that label sheet go? Here it is. It's over on the side. We are automatically going to add a free cat and dog label sheet, which if you guys didn't know, this isn't the first time that we've worked with Janet, because again, she is the essential oil vet. She is the best. We do have our cat and dogs collection. And we also have a super cute barn animal collection that she's helped us with. Super cute. So starting right now through next Thursday, when you buy this, use promo code Janet, and you're going to get one of these label sheets absolutely for free through next Thursday. And so it's a great deal. So head over to God Oil Supplies, check out this new book. But let's talk a little bit more about this book. So Janet, why don't you introduce yourself to our fans?
Oh yes, I can't believe I haven't been live on your page yet, Ryan. I've been working with you guys for a few years now, and it's just, you guys are so wonderful. You're some of my favorite people to work with, honestly. You have the best fans, the best stuff. I've been ordering your stuff since I got started in essential oils. So you guys have really high quality stuff, and I absolutely love it. So just a little bit about me. I am a veterinarian in Austin, Texas, and I own Hill Country Mobile Veterinary Service here in Austin. And I am the Essential Oil Vet on Facebook and Instagram. I recently, I guess it's been a little over a year now, am a founding member of the doTERRA's Veterinary Advisory Board, which was really cool to be a part of. It is really cool to be a part of. We have 5 amazing veterinarians on that board advising doTERRA on safe and effective use of essential oils with animals using their particular products. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me.
So why did you want to become a veterinarian to begin with?
Oh my gosh. I'm one of those people that I've wanted to be a veterinarian since I was 5 years old. I just had this predestined calling on my life, and I just never changed, which is really funny. It makes my sisters crazy, because my big sister, she actually was I'm never going to graduate college because I keep, getting more degrees and not knowing what I want to do with my life. And I'm like, I'm going to be a vet. And I knew that was going to be what I was going to be since I was 5 years old. I remember having this conversation on the bus on my way to kindergarten with a friend of mine, and we were talking about going into practice together, and I was going to be, she was going to be the small animal vet, and I was going to be the large animal vet. And I think she actually does have, she lives out in the country and she has animals now, but, we kind of lost touch over the years. But I never swayed from that, all through middle school, high school. I was I needed, I got straight A's I worked at a vet practice since the time I was 16 years old. As soon as I could get a job, I was working cleaning kennels and mopping floors. And that was just like my track my whole life. It's what I've always wanted to do. I've always been passionate about animals, animal health, and I love people who own animals. I always have, and I have always had a real passion for medicine and science and math, which is, and a lifelong desire to learn, which is how I got into essential oils. I mean, certainly didn't learn that much about them in vet school.
That's so true. I mean, just having a love for animals is just so important when you're trying to take care of them. Is that right? I mean, and it just sounds like this love has sprung from within you since you were 5 years old. That's absolutely amazing. So when and why did you get started with essential oils?
Yeah, so that's kind of a different kind of path. And so I was, obviously Western medicine trained, but I've always been open and interested in, alternative type options for animals, like acupuncture and chiropractic and things like that. But I actually got into essential oils for myself. Being a veterinarian is not super easy. It's a little stressful. It's very emotional sometimes. And you go to bed at night just constantly thinking about what could I have done differently? What could I have done better? What more could I have done for that patient? How could I have explained that better to that owner? And you're just like constantly just drilling yourself and all the things that you could have done better or should have done or wanted to do differently, even though, even if you had a really good outcome or even if you did really everything that you could have. And so I had this like life of stress, and it was just piling up and I didn't have a way to get rid of it. So I started to have some health. In retrospect, I know that that's what this is, but at the time I was just like, what is wrong with me? I have a brain tumor. But I started having really severe headaches, really severe health problems, started cycling into depression. And I started taking some, medications. I saw a neurologist, started taking medications, started having side effects from those. ended up taking medications for my side effects and, the whole story. And you've heard it probably a million times, those of you in the essential oil world. So I was like on 5 different medications, and I it still wasn't very effective. And so a friend of mine actually introduced an essential oil called Past Tense, which is one of doTERRA's blends for headaches. And I smelled it. Actually really didn't like the smell of it very much because it was very minty. And I really was like, oh, I like cinnamon and clove and like the warm smells. I don't know about this one, and kind of threw it in my purse. But I ran out of my headache medication at work one day and saw that little bottle. And so I put some like on my temples and on the back of my neck, and was super surprised when like within 15 minutes, my headache was totally gone and it didn't come back the rest of the day. And so I was like, this is very interesting. Didn't refill my prescription. Used the oils like from then on out, never had to take that medication again, which I was super excited about. And I was like, this is so fascinating. And I started researching how essential oils work on the body, why they work, which essential oils are good for what. And I did like a 6-month deep dive into the research and trying to figure out like how they work, why they work, and just using them on myself and my own animals and my husband, and you know how it is. And so I was just really amazed at how much research there was out there. And then about 6 months into that journey, I had a client who had requested something else besides what we were using on her. It was a horse, actually, on her horse. And so I was like, well, I've been researching these essential oils. We can try it and see if it works. And it was a case that was just kind of nothing short of miraculous. I was watching it before my eyes changed, and really impacted this horse's life for the better long term with just one treatment. And so it was really kind of amazing. And I just remember driving away from that barn thinking, wow, I guess I use essential oils in my practice, and the rest is history.
It's amazing because that was going to be my follow-up, is like, how do you take your love and knowledge of essential oils that you know how to use for yourself, and then how do you know how to translate those essential oils to, you know, use with your pets? Like, how did those two worlds come together?
Well, it was really natural with me, obviously, working with animals and using essential oils on myself. The animals actually got a lot of benefits just aromatically from smelling them off of me, my natural, using myself as a diffuser. And so it just kind of progressed from there. Obviously, a lot of the research I did involved, you know, animal studies and things like that. And so it was pretty incredible, and a very easy transition for me. Obviously got every single book there was on essential oils and animals, whether it was written by a veterinarian or not. Like, I read everything. Hydrosols, like I learned about hydrosols and herbs and carrier oils and all of the things. Like, I'm just one of those, like, I was a sponge when it came to this. I was just fascinated by it, really enjoyed learning about it. And so it was a very easy transition for me to, you know, start using it in my practice, obviously very carefully. I did get my aromatherapy certification through one of the, you know, NAHA approved schools here in the US, the Atlantic Institute of Aromatherapy with Scylla Shepherd. She's amazing. And yeah, it's been quite a journey over the past several years.
And you know what the best part about that, your entire journey for us, is that you have taken all of this information from everything you've read, from all the experience that you have, and you have put it in this awesome guidebook that we can use in our daily lives. Like, I mean, our cats and dogs can benefit from essential oils just like you and I. And I love it. I love that you put this in a book. So I got one question, because I've always been wondering this. Like, what is like one of the top questions people ask you about pets and essential oils? What's the top question you get asked?
Yeah, so the number one question I get asked is about safety. So there's a lot of information about essential oils being dangerous for pets, especially cats and dogs, especially you know, on the internet. And some of that is very true, in that if you're not using a very pure essential oil, one that has been tested and you know that that's exactly what it is, it can cause harm, because a lot of the adulterants that are used in other non-high quality essential oils are actually quite harmful. The adulterants are quite harmful to animals, dogs and cats. So you have to make sure that you're using, you know, a certified pure therapeutic grade essential oil, and then making sure that you're using it properly. And so making sure you're diluting it, if you're using it topically, that when you're diffusing, you're only diffusing, you know, 3 to 4 drops at a time, as opposed to, you know, 20 drops of tea tree oil in your diffuser, that sort of thing. So that is definitely by far the number one question that I get. And we did address that in the safety tips in the book as well. So
That's perfect. So all of this information, of course, that we're discussing, is going to be in this guidebook right here, which is a must-have, again, for anyone that has pets. If you have a dog or a cat and essential oils in your home, you need to learn how to use them properly. And this book right here can help you do that. And so the do's and don'ts, safety, super important. And so, you know, when you were kind of, back when you were talking about your story and you mentioned stress, a story, like, not a story, like a thought popped into my head. There was one time where, because we have a yellow lab, his name's Ollie, 2 years old, super cute, love him to death. But he, you know, he was just like licking his paw. And the problem that I had is he can't communicate with me. Like, so it's kind of like when you have like a newborn and they're crying, and you just wish that they could tell you what is wrong. And that's another thing I love about this book, is like, it talks about common problems that dogs and pets have and what you can do to help them. Because sometimes me not having the knowledge that you have, I feel helpless, not knowing how to help my animal, my pets. And so that is why, another reason I absolutely love this book, and why it is an absolute must-have for anyone that has pets and uses essential oils. I mean, don't you agree? I mean, don't you wish sometimes your animals could talk to you like Mr. Doolittle or Dr. Doolittle? It's just like, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's very hard.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just wrap this up. So now everyone in the God Oil Supplies kingdom now knows the essential oil vet, Janet Roark. What would you say is the number one reason people should go and pick up your brand new guidebook?
Well, it's really for, like what you said, it's really for anyone who owns a cat or a dog and loves essential oils. And I know there's, so many of you out there. If you're a follower of Got Oil Supplies and you happen to have a dog or a cat, this definitely applies to you. It has some very general rules and guidelines for you to follow, whether your animal is healthy or maybe needs some support. And so we go through all of it, and it is a really beautiful book. You can see it's full of color, it's glossy, and it will definitely help you. We have over 100 diffuser recipes that are pet safe for you to diffuse in your home, so you know that it'll actually be safe for you to use. And they smell amazing. So I would say the number one reason you should get this book is really just to make sure that you're using essential oils safely with your animals, and to support Got Oil Supplies, obviously.
You know what? Because our pets are part of our family.
Yes.
And we need to think about them and use our essential oils responsibly. And that is why I hope everyone rushes out and buys Janet Roark's brand new book, Essential Oils for Pets Guidebook. And again, I'm just going to reiterate this. If you head over to God Oil Supplies, add this to your shopping cart, only $19.95, use promo code Janet. We're automatically going to add a free label sheet of our cats and dog label until next Thursday. So head on over. And so again, I want to give Janet a big thank you for joining us live on Facebook on this Thursday. Thanks so much for sharing all of your knowledge, all of your fun stories. I love your stories. I love learning more about you and about your background. And thank you so much for talking about your brand new book.
Thank you so much for having me, Ryan. And definitely, if you guys want to learn more about essential oils besides the book, you can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I'm Essential Oil Vet on Facebook and Instagram. And we do have a membership group as well. That's super awesome. So, but definitely check out the book, get that promo code in there by next Thursday. It's JANET. That's how you spell it. And get that free label sheet as well, which we do have recipes in here, and you'll definitely want to use that on your recipes. So
definitely, everyone head over to Facebook and Instagram and follow Janet. She is awesome. So thanks again, Janet, for joining us. And until next time, everyone, have a great night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Okay, so I ended the